The lottery ticket trembled between my fingers, its numbers gleaming beneath the flickering kitchen light like some twisted joke. $5 million. Clara had won, yet her face, drained of color, her jaw tight, showed no trace of happiness, only that distant, glassy stare. She whispered, "I need some space." Those words cut deeper than any blade. Her voice didn't sound like hers anymore, empty, unfamiliar. I stood there frozen, the ticket slipping from my grasp and landing on the linoleum with a soft flutter. My heart pounded in the silence, each beat echoing through the room. Space. After 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, and a life sewn together with shared dreams. What did space even mean? The air smelled faintly of burnt toast and Clara's lavender perfume, a scent that once comforted me but now felt suffocating. I searched her hazel eyes, usually warm and soft like autumn, but they avoided mine, darting instead toward the chipped edge of the counter. "Clara," I managed, my voice cracking. "What's going on?" She didn't answer, just turned to the sink, her shoulders bowed under a weight heavier than the fortune we had stumbled into. That night, I lay awake in our creaking bed. Her side was cold, empty. She'd left, said she needed time to think, leaving me with nothing but the hum of the refrigerator and the relentless ticking of the clock. My mind replayed her words, her distance, the way her phone kept buzzing these past few weeks. Always a message she'd swipe away before I could see. I told myself it was nothing, maybe stress, maybe shock, but doubt gnawed at me like termites eating away at the foundation of everything we'd built. When morning came, sunlight sliced through the blinds, painting jagged shadows across the living room. Clara sat on the couch, twisting a dish towel in her hands. Her wedding ring caught the light, mocking me. "We need to talk," she murmured, barely above a whisper. My stomach knotted. I nodded and sank into the armchair opposite her. The space between us felt like a canyon. "I've been thinking," she began, her gaze locked on the floor, "about what this money means. Freedom, choices." She hesitated, swallowing hard. "I haven't been happy, Tom. Not for a long time." The words hit like a punch to the chest, knocking the breath from me. "Not happy?" I echoed. "Since when? Why didn't you tell me?" My mind scrambled, recalling every late night she'd spent working, every time she'd pulled away, blaming exhaustion. Had I missed the signs, or chosen not to see them? Tears shimmered in her eyes. I didn't know how to say it. I thought maybe it would pass. Her voice cracked, and for a second I wanted to cross the room and hold her, fix whatever had broken. But then her phone buzzed again. She flinched. Her hand shot out to silence it. That flinch, it was all the confession I needed. "Who keeps texting you?" I asked, sharper than I meant to. Her cheeks flushed. "It's just work," she mumbled. But I wasn't blind anymore. "Clara," I said, leaning forward, pulse hammering. "Who is it?" She jumped up, the towel falling to the floor. "It's nothing, Tom. Stop interrogating me." But her trembling voice and guilty eyes told another story, one of fear, shame, and defiance. The ground shifted under me. Everything we'd built began to crumble. Over the next few days, silence filled the house like smoke. Every detail screamed of betrayal. The strange cologne clinging to her scarf, the new passcode on her phone, the late-night drives she said were for air. Each clue was a splinter, too small to accuse, too painful to ignore. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe in the woman who'd laugh with me over burnt pancakes, who'd cried in my arms when our son was born. But love and doubt can't live under the same roof for long. Each night, I lay awake imagining her with someone else. The thought burned like poison in my veins. I began checking her phone while she showered, hands trembling as I scrolled through her messages. Nothing concrete, but sometimes the absence of evidence says everything. Then, one rainy evening, I found it, a hotel receipt buried in her purse. A place I'd never heard of, dated last month. My heart stopped, the paper crinkled under my fingers, the ink bleeding where my thumb pressed. Not a conference, not a work trip. A hotel, 10 miles from home. That night, I confronted her, receipt in hand. shaking just like I had with the lottery ticket days before. "What is this, Clara?" I demanded, my voice raw. The kids were asleep upstairs. Outside, the storm pounded against the windows. She stood in the doorway, hair damp, face pale as moonlight. "It's not what you think," she said, but the words rang hollow. "A client," she added weakly. I laughed, bitter and broken. "At a hotel? At night? Don't lie to me. Clara, not now." My chest ached, torn between fury and heartbreak. I wanted her to deny it, wanted to believe her. She sank onto the couch, hands covering her face. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered. "It was a mistake. A stupid, selfish mistake." Her confession crashed over me like a wave, cold and merciless. "Who is he?" I demanded, my voice shaking. She said nothing, but her silence screamed the truth. I saw it all, every stolen glance, every lie, every betrayal woven to the life we'd shared. I turned toward the rain-slick window, my reflection pale and hollow in the glass. "Why?" I asked quietly. "Wasn't I enough?" She sobbed, shoulders shaking. "It wasn't about you," she finally said. "It was me." I felt trapped. The money, it made me realize I could leave, start over. The lottery, our supposed miracle, had become her escape. $5 million. And it bought nothing but the truth. She didn't love me anymore. Maybe she never had. I walked out into the storm, rain soaking through my clothes, shoes squelching in the mud. I didn't know where I was going, only that I couldn't stay surrounded by the wreckage of her lies. Every memory replayed in my mind, her laughter, her touch, the promises we'd built, and I wonder how much of it had ever been real. Love had blinded me. Betrayal had opened my eyes. Days later, I found the final proof. A letter tucked inside her desk, addressed to me but never sent. "Tom, I'm sorry. I met him last year at work. It was nothing at first. Then it was everything. I don't know who I am anymore." The words blurred beneath my tears, but a last line burned itself into me. "I'm taking the money. I'm leaving. Forgive me." She was gone by morning. The house stood hollow, echoing with her absence. On the counter lay the lottery ticket. Our prize, our curse, $5 million. The cost of everything I'd ever loved. As I stood there, the rain still falling outside, I finally understood. Her greatest betrayal wasn't the affair. It was choosing to run, to take the money and leave me behind with the shattered pieces of a life I no longer recognized.